Yo, what's good, y'all? This called the Red Hood. It's in fucking Russian. Do they have English? Fuck. English. There you go. Let's return. No. Ain't let me do my intro. Shout out to all the Russians out there, all the different people, Ukraine. Shout out to Ukraine, much love and positivity to everywhere, the whole world, globally, nationality, ethnicity, ethicality, ethically, stupendously, everything, Lee. I'm Lee. Maniac Lee. If you don't, you don't. If you do, you do. I'm back at it with a part number 1, not 2. This is called the Red Hood. Never mind. This is called Locked Up. The Red Hood's coming next. I just finished episode 1 of Sally's. Now I want to move to this. See how this game's going. Yeah, let's see if this game's good. It's called Locked Up. It's on Steam. It was on Steam for like $2, $3, $4, $4. Something like that, something in my price range, Free is more like it, but something in my price range. You feel me? Most of you feel me, aren't they? I ain't gonna lie. Let's turn the music down a little bit. This should be good. Just to be sure, that should be better. Yeah, man. Peace, love, positivity, fairness, welfare, everything. All that's good, all that's great. Never be late. Just like that, we starting it. Early autumn, what does it bring? For some, full screen this. Early autumn, what does it bring? For some, it's a time of harvesting potatoes in the garden strewn with yellow leaves. For others, it's never-ending rainstorms. Melancholy, melancholy, and boredom. For me, though, it's mushroom hunting. I've been mushrooming each fall for as long as I can remember. It's sort of a family tradition, I guess. I got the taste of it thanks to my grandparents. We used to forage together when they were alive. This time, I take Ida, my dog, to keep me company. Oh, she occupies the back seat and sometimes puts her head out the window, helping me watch the road. It's not the first time we have traveled like this, so she is calm, obedient. What a good girl she is. We still have a long way to go. I plan to visit the part of the forest that my grandmother loved. She warmly called the place the Mushroom Paradise. That's where we used to forage together. It's been many years since then. I'm on my own now. They microdose on shrooms? That's crazy. To brighten up the trip, I had asked a couple of friends to come along. One, however, backed out just the night before. And just when I think about it, my phone rings. I pick it up, continuing to drive. Layuda. Hey, I'm really sorry, but we won't join you today. What, are you kidding me? You guys are always ready for hanging outdoors, but not when it comes to mushrooming, huh? But we're swamped. We really are. Hey, don't gloom over it. You can buy the mushrooms in the store, so it's not a big deal. Yeah, say no more, traders. Please don't take it so hard. It's just that we really can't go. Okay, so no hard feelings. Well, I'm driving, so bye. See you later. Distracted by the conversation, I don't notice another car overtaking me. I turn the steering wheel as sharp as I can. The road hog whistles past at breakneck speed, leaving behind an echo of screeching tires. I dodge successfully, but suddenly run into a bump. The car jolts, something inside his body shakes violently. The dog whines in fears. Why the hell did he swerve to my lane? This son of a... Oh, easy, Ida. It's okay. At least I hope my car is not damaged because of that asshole. Irritated, I excel loudly. Squeeze the steering wheel. Leveling the car, that jolt sobered my thoughts and forced me to take my gaze fixed on the road so that no one else would try to run us over. The road becomes even bumpier than before, with large holes and cracks in the asphalt. And now I cautiously avoid them all. How did this brain-dead racer speed up on such a road? God, it sucks. Why do I have to do it on my own again? Why couldn't we just get together enjoying each other's company, like pick a ton of mushrooms and then have another day off dealing with all that shit and having fun like we did last year. You can buy them in the store. What on earth will she find there? Champignons, pickled honey mushrooms, or maybe she'll get something on the street market from a nice old lady and get sick, right, Ida? Dog looks silently in the rear view mirror. It's not even the point. Oh God, I just wanted to hang out with them for once. Better turn on the radio. Maybe there's something nice on there. There's no chatterbox of this ancient Soviet car that I got from my grandpa. Instead, I use a portable radio, old fashioned, I guess. So, but it suits me just fine. So we continue on our way, listening to Milan, Valeria, Maxim, and other popular singers. It seems that luck is on our side again, soothing us with an upbeat pop music. Suddenly, the broadcast pleases my ear with the band Tattoo, and then with a Zemfira's song requested by a listener. The fluffy pines are interspersed with rows of birches on other deciduous, decutus trees. The brushes are staring to lose their leaves from the cold. They run past, mingling into a single mess. Sometimes I notice narrow curves and ruts with cars already parked in them. Mushroom season is summoning all mushroom hunters, but not my friends. I glance enviously at the group of people walking into the woods. I wonder if they are about to forage or just have some fun, maybe both. When I recognize the road, I turn to the right curve, accompanied by a haunting line. As much as I want to enjoy the music a bit longer, I have to turn off the radio. Here we are, get up, Ida. The dog joyfully sticks her tongue out, her back ears perk up. She jumps out of the car as soon as I open the door. I set out to search for mushrooms with a bucket and a knife, and the dog cheerfully rushes forward. It's a beautiful place. The woods always have their peculiar charm, especially when people didn't get to litter it with empty bottles and other trash. Surprisingly, this area is almost clean, though still someone has already thrown a tire on a branch, seemingly marking the forest as their property. All of a sudden, the memories come back to me rushing. I remember this place. I haven't been here since my grandma passed away. When I realized how unbearably quiet my apartment was, I adopted Ada. This adorable furry creature gave me the strength to move on with my life. Dogs indeed require a lot of care, but that's just what I needed back then. The responsibility for this pure and vulnerable creature didn't let my inner demons take over me. Now it is impossible to imagine my life without her, without that sweet, gentle sunbeam who filled the hole in my heart. I could have left her at home, but I would feel bad for locking the girl in the apartment. I'm delighted to see her frolicking in the fresh air and throwing branches and leaves around in the joyful dance. After all, she patiently awaits from me from work 5 days a week. And on top of that, it's dangerous to walk in the woods all alone. That's why I feel safer with Ida. We go deeper into the forest. The dull sky watches us passively above the tree crowns. A sweet smell of autumn and pine bark fills the air. The dog wiggles around me, tracking scents. Occasionally, when she sees a squirrel, she presses her paws against the tree and starts barking softly at it. Aida has as much fun as she can while I search for mushroom cats. However, so far, we have met only a couple of bull tusses and one unwelcome fly agaric. How strange is that? I thought there would be more mushrooms out there. Well, apparently I'm not the only one who knows this place. Now I notice some freshly cut mushroom stems here and there with a heartbreaking sight. Maybe we'll find something if we go deeper. Ida, come. Oof. How unfortunate. It was my grandma's favorite place to pick mushrooms. I remember how we used to walk here filling our buckets to the top. Am I too late? I stopped to cut up a couple of buttered mushrooms and let them suddenly join a handful of their cousins. Even reunited, this bunch does not even cover the bottom of the bucket. Ida gazes into the distance, wagging her fluffy tail. She sees someone. I turn my head and look in the same direction. Well, someone has certainly been here before us. It's weird, though, that I haven't noticed any cars, but they might be parked somewhere farther away. Looks like there's nothing for us to do here. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Everything comes to an end sooner or later. I recall walking here as a child with my only family. A deep sigh breaks from my chest. I call Ida and rub her behind her ears to push aside the bitter memories. It's okay, I'm not giving up that easily. As long as we're here, we keep looking until the end, till the bucket is full. No, until both buckets are full. The dog looks at me adoringly, listening to my promises with her tongue out. Well, no matter what I tell her, it's just a dog. She'll follow me anywhere and won't mind me. And won't mind that, unlike some other people. Ida patiently waits for me to stop petting her. Cheered up, we go back to the car. I put the bucket by the side of the seat and reached for the bag to take out our supplies. The ride took an hour and a half, and I lost track of time entirely during the meditative stroll. I was too busy to notice my growing hunger. First, I filled Ida's double bowl with water and dog food. Then I placed a road map on the road in my car and started planning a new route with a sandwich in my mouth. It turns out that we don't have many options left, but I still hope to spot at least one unremarkable trailway. It's pointless to try luck at finding anything near villages the locals should have empty. All the forests within reach and sold their harvest on the street market. Yeah, on the street market, that's where they hoodwink people like Luyida and buy their inedible mushrooms. Am I still not going to give up and entertain the idea that this whole trip is pointless? Yet at this moment, I'm on the verge of showing the white flag. If I'm swallowing my pride, I could patch things up with Luyida. And we can make some fried potatoes within the simple harvest that I managed to find. Although I really like spending time outdoors with Aida, I don't want to come back empty-handed. I can't think of anything. For now, we can just drive forward and then we'll see what to do. Suddenly, I feel something touching my leg. It's Ida bumping me with her nose. She had finished her meal and is now waiting for us to hit the road again. She wags her tail and looks at me amiably. I pet her. The plan is simple. If we see no cars nearby, we stop and take a look, right? Right, Ida. Calm down. I let my dog into the car where she settles in the passenger seat and lays down obediently. I start the engine and we drive further on the main road. I turn on the radio and simultaneously check the gas gauge. That'll do for a while. I don't think we'll drive too long anyway. You know what? Layuda probably thinks that since I went mushrooming, I'll bring her something. No way. I tell her she should have come with me. Okay, I'm joking. Everyone loves to have fun, but they're always busy when it comes to something real. Out of the corner of my eye, I look at Aida through the mirror. The dog lays peacefully, raising her head every time the gearbox clicks or I address her. I am so used to having heart-to-heart conversations with her that it feels as if she understands everything I say. Ida is my only family. She is a great listener. At least she won't talk down to me or turn down an adventure. We'll be back late tonight, but that's okay, right? I just want to go mushroom hunting. Even if that half-empty forest I found enough for a small frying pan. But no longer a matter of profit, it's a matter of honor, leisure, interest. So to speak, I'll come back and prove all these cynics wrong. Now, much to my surprise, I don't see any cars at all. The forest gets thicker. As far as I remember, one curve leads to a village and the other to a small town. Driving past one of the curves, I noticed a couple of funeral wreaths lying on the ground. Fortunately, the sharp turn sign didn't save some reckless drivers from hitting a tree. The suburban winding track is like an amusement ride for some people. It fills them with excitement and they rush to their deaths. Life frightens you with its sudden ends. There's never enough time. You just hope it's keep working for you time after time. Thanks. You are not like the others. I am not like the others. Lost in these thoughts, I almost skip a narrow gap dividing the woodland in two. Then I see a strange road. At first sight, this concrete road is inconspicuous. It's long and lost between the trees, descending as if from a mountain. And most importantly, no living creature is seen or heard there. The road is overgrown with wild grass between the cracks. Looks like it has never been touched by wheels. There it is. I make a U-turn just to be sure. I'm going to check that way. It seems that the road gradually turns left. We drive past some old buried utility poles. The place looks untamed and deserted. Even though the road is clearly man-made, no one has been here for a long time. Maybe I'm imagining things, but I have a feeling that there's a bounty of mushrooms waiting for me. Even if it sounds stupid, I always trust my gut. Even Ida is concentrating on the scenery and presses her nose against the car window. She wags her tail, apparently sharing my joy. But suddenly the radio fades away into a hiss. My blood runs cold. Ida barks at it fiercely. Damn it. I turn the volume down and try to find a decent wavelength, but in vain. Irritated and scared, I turn it off. Ida, quiet. It's just a bad signal. Trees are too tall and there's mountains all around. It should be the reason. I finally managed to park after collecting myself and comforting Ida. Ida is getting impatient. She scratches at the door until I let her out. I like this artwork a lot. You could tell just all the detail that went into it. I feel like it's either to create something colorful, it's harder to really show like detail as something that's not colorful. It's just bland, but they make it pop out. Straight away, she starts exploring and marking the area. I peer into the woodland. The dense forest is sullen and lifeless, with the crowns sheltering it from sunlight. The sturdy trees are bathed in shadows, dancing grotesquely in the thundering silence. It seems like a rainstorm just ended a minute ago. Apparently, no one has been here for days or even years. There are no tires, no signs of a campfire, and no trash at all. Looks like no one takes any notice of this part of the forest. We went too deep though, Ida. The nearest town or village, basically anything, yeah, it's quite far away. I realized that the road isn't marked on my road map. Strange, there's a road but it's not on the map. Okay, it must have been some kind of temporary trail and no one needs it anymore. I look at this abandoned concrete road again. It goes far, still gradually turns left. I can see only a small part of it. The rest is lost in a wreath of foliage. And further down the descent, no large gaps, meadows, or buildings are visible between the tops of the pines. I grab my bucket and knife again and go into the mysterious forest. I literally jump out of my skin where I hear a branch cracking and grass squishing. These sounds seem deafening loud in the dead silence of this place. At this very moment, a bitter thought goes through my head. I'm all alone here. Take a deep breath and try to cheer myself up. No, I'm not alone. I'm with my dog. Why would I care anyway? I bet there are no predators in the vicinity, or are they? Anyway, I won't go too far. Hey, Ida, everything will be alright because you are with me. Dog turns to me, wagging her tail with joy. As long as Ida acts calm and casual, I feel courageous. I move forward, a sigh of relief escaping my mouth. I hadn't seen a forest like this for quite a long time. Undergrowth and wild, poisonous berries clusters in the coolness and the airlessness under a dense shelter of leafy branches. Some trees have their trunks curving and crooking. I had only walked a short distance, but Ida is already sniffing a stump overgrown with honey agarics. I'll take a closer look at the bushes and the curved tree roots and notice penny buns and chanterelles. Looking at the scenery, I remember a documentary about anomalous zones which I had watched a few days ago. I shouldn't have watched such crap before the trip. Now I wonder what creepy stuff I'm going to imagine here. Before I know it, my bucket is half full. I still want to explore this strange place though. It's so quiet that even my footsteps and the rustling of the leaves are lost between the branches. No beasts and no birds are seen or heard. The magical feeling of discovery grips me, and the mushrooms I see here and there only fuel my excitement. Suddenly Ida freezes, her ears perked up, she's listening. Before I can do anything, she rushes into the dense bushes. Ida, come here. What's wrong with her? Is she chasing the squirrel again? I quicken my pace to catch up with the dog. After a while, Ida returns holding a dark object in her teeth. It is rotten, hard, wet, and it doesn't look like an animal at all. Hey, don't you ever run away again. Do you hear me? No running away. What is it? I take the mysterious objects from my dog. It smells like old rubber and dirt. It resembles a galosh, quite a typical one, which is worn over shoes so that they wouldn't get wet, though Ida brought only a part of it. What on earth does that mean? Did someone leave it here? But it should have been really long ago. I throw into the bushes and wet my hands on my pants. The dog's already going to rush after the rubber as if it's a toy, but I shout sternly, Ida, off! Come here! Dog stops, looking at me with resentfulness. Then she returns to me obediently. I pat her head. Don't pick up any crap here, okay? Okay, looks like we could go further, right, darling? If anyone's been here, it's been a long time. And as there's really this much stuff, I'm going to make this place my mushroom paradise. How about that, huh? Maybe we'll find something more interesting out here. Let's see. I pull a boletus out of the bucket and let Ida sniff it. It must be strange to make her look for mushrooms like a truffle pig, but I decided to give it a try. Ida thinks I'm offering a treat, so I take my hand away just in time. No, sniff. Seek, Ida, seek. Dog stares at the mushroom, then she turns her gaze at me, and whimpers miserably. Here, Ida, seek, help me. Ida starts sniffing the mushroom again, then she dips her nose into the droopy grass and fallen pine needles. She wanders around for a while, sniffing the ground, and finds the trail and leads me, her tail wagging. That's my girl. Well done, Ida. We begin to descend a gentle slope, avoiding the steep part of the hill. Along the way, I find a couple more boltuses, but the dog rushes forward as if she is following a very distinctive scent trail. Soon she leads me to a knoll at the foot of a branchy spruce standing between the ferns. The knoll is studded with white mushrooms, the combination of which forms a semicircular silhouette from a fairy tale. As I reach to cut them off, I slowly run my fingers over some kind of branching threads. Looks like mycelium, a sprawling white-gray mass covering lichens and moss. Is a bit fuzzy, which makes it look like mold. Suppose these mushrooms are fine. I pick some and rinse them while at home. On the mushroom cap, I accidentally ripped the stalk of the Slow down. Holding a mushroom cap, I accidentally ripped the stalk off the soil, pulling it out with a piece of mycelium and moss. Underneath them, I see something pale and yellow. Must be the root. Now I cut it off with my knife one by one, and as I reach for the farthest ones, I climb more and more up the knoll. Something crunches under my feet, not like a branch, and it certainly isn't a rock, but the crunch sounds loud and clear. Bones? I think for a moment that I'm climbing on something alive. I jump up. On the disturbed spot lie elongated bones. Moss, mycelium, and lichen envelop them in a strange way, like the skin of a mystical beast, something a forest spirit would wear in the old fairy tales. Feeling a chill creep on my back, I did an unremarkable grave with my leg. Then I started pulling out chunks of vegetation. Slow down, slow down. Then I start pulling out chunks of vegetation until I can finally see just what I expected. Under the layer of moss, particularly covered with lichen and soil between the rhizome and mycelium, revealed the ribs and then the spine. In front of me lies someone's skeleton, part of it to be exact. It looks unnatural, distorted. It's not a bone expert, but the main feature that would clarify everything is missing. The skull and limbs are either missing or torn apart by wild animals. Ida comes over to see what I'm doing. She sniffs the bone curiously. She's calm at first, but then she recoils, growling in displeasure. There's something she doesn't like. Hush, hush. It must be just be an animal, a badger or a boar. Put the dog closer to me. There's a boar lying here. Someone must have killed it, and the killer must have been a predator like a wolf. As I step back, my foot bumps into something softer than bones. It squeaks disgustingly under my heel. A gallus, another gallus, similar to the one Ada had brought before. The only difference is this one being whole. A shiver runs down my spine. Ida, let's get out of here. Back away. I want to believe that it's just a boar or some other animal. Yeah, I can't help thinking, what if it's a human? I try to soothe myself for any explanation, but fear and panic tighten their grip on my throat with each second. It's been here for a long time, and we haven't seen anyone so far. It means I'm in no danger. That's right. I can't be killed by a corpse, can I? Ida. And if it's a human being, could it be that they were just dumped here ages ago by some gangsters covered up a crime? God, it's better not to think about it at all. Yeah. And, well, those criminals aren't going to stay in the woods and wait for Snezhana to come and visit them, are they? They just got rid of the corpses in the middle of nowhere so no one will find it, and that's it. Perhaps the dog has her own opinion. She keeps sniffing, and it seems that her sensitive nose senses something once again. She tracks another trail. If Ida senses any danger, she'll warn me. She's a dog after all. Ida leads me to a ravine. As we walk, I manage to calm down, as there have been no one and nothing scary along the way. There's no use in getting stressed over it. I notice chanterelles between the bushes and my mind is getting distracted, but rarely do I come closer to them. Ida barks anxiously somewhere down again, distracting my attention. Afraid that she is going to jump into the hole, I grab her collar firmly. Ruff, ruff, ruff. Ida, no, stand still. Growling, the dog peered at me at first, then somewhere down. I had no time to go through all the forest animals in my head while we were descending, but what was revealed to me cannot be explained easily. It is hard to call it a natural ravine. It looks as if the ground has sagged here long ago, covering a strange frame beside the steep slope, and in the pit lies something that is hard to look at for too long, something disturbing. Branches and some rags are lying here, and everything is overgrown with grass and mushrooms. They're chaotically settled along the perimeter. I can see bones protruding from the grass. Open cemetery, damp, uncovered, either animals or people, but pieces of cloth, front and shoes, and other objects foreign to the forest hinted at whom the body parts so densely wrapped in the plants belonged. Even so, I don't understand what exactly makes Ida so worried and why she had brought me here. To warn me? We should get out. Let's go, Ida. Follow. I hurry the dog along, pulling her by the collar. Ida doesn't understand me at first, but reluctantly wanders beside me. Yes, girl, to the car. Fuck this place. Grease still clouds my mind, so I can't bring myself to throw my mushrooms away. I managed to get a bucket full just before the place disturbed my mind and revealed this horrifying side. After all, what did mushrooms have to do with all this? I'm not going to go home empty-handed. Who knows when, but something had happened here. Either some local animals or bandits had dumped garbage of all kinds into the ravine. Who and why? It's a mystery, but the mushrooms had nothing to do with it. I am afraid of getting an answer, so I chase these thoughts away. I just want to get in my car and get out of here, come home, make some hot fries, lay on my couch and forget about everything. I imagine the warmth and the pleasant aroma in my cozy apartment where the only sounds are the neighbors laughing or drilling behind the wall. I return on the TV to distract myself and watch an entertaining movie. I still have some cassette tapes left. I could watch Flubber or Richie Rich. Richie Rich, that joint. I don't know what Flubber is, but that's that movie. All right, we got out safe. I thought something was gonna happen. That's good. I pulled Ida into the car and put the bucket under the front seat. I had enough. It's time to get out of here. I'm not even gonna call the cops. I'm gonna pretend I didn't see anything. I don't want to get into trouble. I don't want any more trouble. I start the engine, press the clutch, and the car conks out. Repeat the process. We barely even move before the car conks out with a distinctive noise. Oh no, why now? I knew it. Somebody messed with that car. I got out the car to take a look at it. I lift the hood and smell unpleasant oily scent, slightly reeking of gasoline. Before I put my hand on it, I could feel the engine getting too hot in such a short time. Graham Sharp checked everything this morning. I walk around the car and notice a leak. The oil trail is barely visible under the grass, but it's also imprinted on the pale concrete. Perfect. This car is a damn wreck. I still have some motor oil left in the trunk. As far as I remember, it might be enough to get these metal grips to the highway at least. But first I had to wait until the car cools down and then examine it more carefully. If the problem is something else, all my efforts would turn out to be a failure. The dog peers at me through the glass and whimpers. She is begging to come out to be closer to me. Looks like we're going to stay here for a while. I open the car door, but Ida just keeps purring at me. Don't understand what you want from me. The car is broken. If I don't come home in time, I have to call my boss. Oh, I've got an idea. Pull my phone out and call my acquaintance. After the first ring, however, it beeps and the call is ended. I walk around the car with the phone in my hand. I stretch it out, pull it closer, and lift it up. I even climb on the trunk and put my hand up to the sky, but in vain. There's no signal at all. Great, just fucking awesome. No car, no signal. Give me 1 second. All right. I jump down with a frustrated sigh, trying to calm my nerves and not toss the phone on the ground. The sky's already darkening. The sun is sinking to the horizon and the unfriendly forest grows darker and darker. The dense clouds are putting against the earth, getting heavier, piling up the gloomy dome. It's probably warmer in the woods than here. On the concrete road now, when the cool evening air embraces me, I can feel the difference. I thought about walking towards the highway, but hitchhiking at night is too dangerous. It's getting late, okay? We'll fix this junket early in the morning and hit the road. I get the dog some water and begin to set up my lodging for the night. I don't like the idea of having to sleep here in front of a dense forest with someone's bones lying in it, but now I can't do anything about it. Inside, Ida and I crawl under a blanket, warming each other with our bodies. We soon fall asleep. I don't even know when I started drifting off. I don't know whether the long drive is to blame or the stress or both. But I remember a long, gentle slumber with no dreams that didn't last long. Suddenly I hear someone or something scratching at the door from inside. Half awake, I rise up and peer around. Oh, it's just you. What's wrong? The dog is still begging me to let her out. You want to pee, don't you? I look out the window. There's nothing around but thick darkness. It envelops the vague, barely visible silhouettes of trees. The blue-black sky is all covered by clouds, a dim moon, and not a single star. And with it, the muffled silence and Ida's whimpering. Okay, I got it. Wait a sec. Takes me a while to straighten up so I can get up. Taking the flashlight out of the glove compartment, I open the door for her. She jumps out and I follow her. The car would have had to piss in the car, man. If I ain't had a strap, I wouldn't have got out, man. Something about the cool embrace, you feel me? Ida and I had snuggled up against each other and breathed so much that the windows fogged up when the cold air blew in. I wrapped my arms tightly around myself, trying to keep warm. A while later, I wait for Ida outside the car, tracing where she wandered with a flashlight. Hey, don't go too far. The cold is getting harder. I wrap myself more tightly in my jacket, hearing strange sounds from the side of the thicket, like the crunching of branches. I direct my light in the assumed direction, but the light only meets a few crooked trunks. No one is there. The tops of the black pines sway in the wind, and again, there are muffled, cracking, and rustling sounds. It must be the wind. It still doesn't feel right. What if there's a boar or a huge moose? Or what if it's a wolf? The longer I analyze the sounds, the more I torment myself with fear. Every unexpected noise sends a sickening chill through my chest. The dog must have gone off into the bushes. She still hasn't come back. I lost sight of her. Ida, come here. I call her again and again. The silence grips me by the throat. It clamps its bony fingers ominously around my neck and seems to make it tighter with each attempt. Ida! I force myself to step forward, lighting the ground, the trees, and bushes. Ida! A rustling sound on the opposite side makes me shudder. I turn around, expecting to see a dangerous dark beast, but my flashlight illuminates the innocent face of my dog. Alright. My knees buckles in relief and I almost fall. The fluffy prankster stands in front of me, wagging her tail happily as if nothing had happened. Oh my god, Ida, you scared me. What took you so long? Okay, get in the car. Come on, get in. Okay. Good. Yeah, don't. I hate when they be trying to kill dogs, man. I make Ida climb into the car and do the same after her. The dog smells of the cold and damp nocturne forest. This naughty girl has her belly and paws dirty, which I realize as soon as I hug her. Ida makes a mess on me and on the seat, but I can't help it. There's no place to wash up. I had to put up with it. No matter how dirty Ida is, I still love her as much as she loves me, so I don't scold her. I throw the blanket over us and hug her. I turn off the flashlight. And yet after that night walk, I don't want to sleep at all. It seems that at any moment, something would peek through the window, something or someone whose eyes was watching my back as I stood outside. This unknown creature's stately, haunting gaze felt as if the forest spirit was watching an uninvited guest through the window. It was devouring me with the gaze of its empty black eye sockets as my apologies. It was devouring me with the gaze of its empty black eye sockets as an undiscovered skull from the wilderness was stared. The creature is definitely made of bones, moss, and mold, just like that skeleton that lies lonely under a layer of compost. I closed my eyes at the thought and pressed my nose into Ida's warm fur. The familiar, lively smell was slightly comforting. I had never been in a situation like this before, alone in the woods, alone with my dog in my car. Insomnia doesn't go away. I just had to wait until dawn. I look at the clock on my cell phone. It's 3 a.m, so it should be light soon. I just have to be patient. I can still hear crackling and strange noises coming from the woods. Maybe it's the wind that is just swaying the branches, whistling between the trunks. I want to plug my ears. I want to fall asleep. Never had a thought that, far from civilization, the sounds of nature seem so loud. I tried to put myself in a positive frame of mind. I think about how Ida and I would find a way out in the morning. How soon we would climb into the bathroom and have a nice meal, or the other way around. Food first, then hygiene and sleep. But there's also the other side of the coin. I have to call my boss and ask for a sick leave, run to the clinic, ask for a medical certificate. Finally, I opened the snake game on my cell phone to get my mind off things. Oh, yo, who used to have the little flip phone with the snake game? I used to have one of them. That was like my first phone with the snake game. That's why I fuck with that game. I ain't that old. I just had a snake game. Then I had the sideways flip phone, and it had like, the phone had skulls over it. Shit was fire. And so little by little, I managed to wait for dawn. I get up and take a proper look at the car. I need to find the problem. I don't give up hope that I can patch up this junker on my own to get it to the highway, at least to the highway. Probably something had fallen off or cracked when I hit the pothole. The sky finally brightens. The sun is coloring the celestial haze, but the light is lost in the fog and loose clouds. I pull out my supplies. I had no sandwiches left, only water and dog food. It isn't much. I make dog breakfast for Ida, get out the car, and step in the puddle. The realization of the situation literally makes me furious. Holy shit, this can't be happening. I rush to check the engine oil level. There may be a hole somewhere under the hood, and that's from where it leaked out. It's probably happened just then, far away on the highway when we got a big bump. Yesterday we didn't have enough for it to lubricate the engine. That's why the weird sound came out, and that's why we didn't move. But there's still hope that it hadn't been damaged that badly. I rushed to the trunk. The canister engine oil is suspiciously light. I've been so hopeful that we might be able to get out of here. That's it? Oh God. I don't want to stay in this forest any longer anyway, so I just poured the leftovers from the bottom and get behind the wheel. I rejoice when the engine starts and we even drive off, but it's too soon to celebrate. The Grinch lazily blurs for a meter and dies again. Out of despair, I hit the horn as hard as I could, frightening Ida. The dog whimpers and presses her body against the seat. Move, what the heck is wrong with that junk? No answer, only an exhausting silence. I press my palms to my face to groan. I feel like the worst loser in the whole damn world. How did I deserve it? I don't need these mushrooms. I'm such an idiot. I wouldn't have damaged the car if it wasn't for that jerk. Shit. Through the mirror, I glanced at the frightened girl. I sigh and calm down. I'm so sorry. I pat her head. We're stuck here. I think of something by the way. I'm hungry. Right, I cooked my mushrooms. What do you think? Unfortunately, most of the branches I found are too dead, probably because of the dew. Finally, I make a fire out of the rag newspaper and my road map. Then I string some mushrooms on a stick, lightly brush them, and finally roast them. I wish there was water out somewhere. Everything is dirty. I hope I don't get food poisoning just because I don't wash them. Damn it. Disgusting, dirty hands, face, hair, even food. There was too little water to waste on washing up. I look like a chimney sweeper, even though I've only been here a day. When the mushrooms are cooked, I begin to eat them, trying to convince myself that junk and motor oil bonfire had killed all the germs. Although a handful of salt would definitely brighten up the shortcomings. It tastes rather peculiar, but my stomach whines and sucks too much not to fill it with something. Salt would have come in handy. What kind of short-sighted mushrooms hunter was I not to take it? I didn't expect to stay in the woods all day though. Why I'm lost in thought, I don't notice that Ida had brazenly snatched a couple of mushrooms from the other batch I had left over. Drop it, idiot. Off, Ida. I didn't think you eat that. Alright then. I hope you don't get sick. We have enough problems already. You know what? We should walk to the highway, catch a car, and talk them into getting our car on a crane. If they make it to the village, we can call a tow truck, and I'll find the network. The idea I had voice gives me confidence. Yes, I have to move on. Just sitting here isn't going to help, or as my grandmother used to say, God helps those who help themselves. Is there a chance that I'm being searched? Who's to say that I'm not lying on the couch right now, unscrupulously missing work, that I'm not just a slacker? And the longer I stay here, the scarier and stranger seems the forest and this mysterious road, forgotten by all the world. Too many uncanny thoughts creep into my mind. It stirs my imagination and stirs me with its deliberate mystery. After a quick snack, I grab a bottle of water and my cell phone and head into the thick fog, which is reluctant to disperse with Ida. We walk into the opposite direction. Soon the damp mist covers our tracks. We should look for an oil trail. Yeah, looks like I had a decent run with a padded bottom. I should have stopped as soon as we got a bump. Well, that's right. We haven't even gotten to the mushroom spot yet. Well, now you got it. Look how far have you come. Chanting to myself and reasoning slightly relaxed me. This day seems calm. The silence drives me crazy, squeezing my head. Before I know it, I'm starting to miss the chaotic noise of the city, the way it weaves together into a rhythm. I speak out loud, knowing fun well that Ida, who is following me, wouldn't say anything but woof. But that's enough. We had been walking for a suspiciously long time. I glanced at the grayish orange cell phone screen. Where? Could I have taken a wrong turn? How did I drive? In the fog, I noticed a silhouette. Is that a car? Stretching my lips into a smile, I almost run to it. Ida scoots forward, but the closer I get, the clearer the picture becomes. It is my car. We in the Twilight Zone? Grandpa's old Zaguli is standing lonely on the curb. Startled by the discovery, I look around. Panic starts gripping me. Everything is making me dizzy. How is that possible? We walked straight and straight and straight and straight. Couldn't get here. Ida, hearing me whimper, comes closer and twirls her tail wagging. Apparently, she tries to comfort me. The dog nuzzles her nose into my hand. I pat her. It's okay, Ida. Everything will be okay. This time, to test my theory, I decided to walk in the opposite direction. I remember how long we had been walking, so I just hope to get somewhere. Even if it's just a secret lab in the middle of the woods like in sci-fi movies, or a gloomy banner with goals. The fog lightens, but it still won't go away. Noon is approaching. As we walk, it feels like something is gliding along in the fog this time. I stop and peer into the distance, but every time the suspicious shadows happens to be a tree or a bush or some other inconspicuous driftwood. Ida is as quiet as never before, as if nothing had happened, and I'm the only one who is going crazy. The further I walk, the stranger I feel, as if the veil separating me from reality had been lowered. Loneliness and helplessness comes again. I want to believe that this is one long and unpleasant dream. I hope that I'm about to see the highway behind another span of concrete road. However, now I see a car. My car is still there, as if I had never left this place. What the hell is this? Left, right, it's all the same. Okay. Yeah, we trapped. We are trapped. Would you rather something like this happen? Or you rather be taken by someone into the woods? Some murder. I feel like most of y'all will probably say something like this happened. But this is way more fearful than having to fight somebody off in darkness. This is like the feeling of impending doom, like you're trapped. No matter which way you go, you lead back to the same spot. I don't know what would y'all do? Y'all end up running one way, you just end right back at your car. Run into the woods, you come up the other side of the woods. Mm-mm. That's not it. I'll be back. I'm back. Had a good little fruit smoothie. You know, that pineapple, some grapes, some pears, some fruits. Gotta feed the body good to feel good. Anyway, I sit on the ground. Ida snuggles up to me, soothingly, poking her nose into my jacket. Woof. My gaze shifts to the forest. No, no, no. I'm not going there. No way. Maybe someone will notice that I'm not home. Maybe they'll find us. Ida, what should I do? I hugged the dog and tucked my face into her soft fur. Hush, hush. I'm not crying anymore. Collecting myself, I get up and walk to the car. I'm gonna try pushing it, but what's the point? We're locked here. I'm not going into the woods. What if we get lost and no one finds us? We will wander around for the rest of eternity. No food, no water. I've got nothing but a goddamn lighter, this wreck, and a knife. I kick the wheel of my car and again, taking out my anger and despair. My breakdown scared Ida, so she is now growling at me. What? Why are you barking? Shut up. Ida droops her tail and ears, dropping her muddy belly to the ground. Now she meekly waits for all my steam to come out. What else can she do? What can I do? I am thirsty again. The walk had taken so long that it's already lunchtime. It is that strange feeling when the day flows, but it feels like it has been going on forever. I pull out a bucket of mushrooms and begin to pick through them. Surprisingly, I find only a few worms. The monotonous work distracts me from thinking about the bones, about the scary noises in the forest at night, about the shadows between the trees, about the invisible gaze staring at me. The thought flashes through my mind, what if I am watched right at this moment? My hand starts shaking. I turn around while cutting a worm out of a mushroom, and before I know it, I cut myself. Ouch! Ah, fuck it! I press my cut finger to my lips. The thirst becomes unbearable. The warm, salty blood is the most delicious thing I've tasted in the last 24 hours, not counting the sandwiches I ate yesterday. But the trail left on my tongue suddenly seems rancid and then outright disgusting. The water I still have is not to be touched. The thirst grows harder. Either out of frustration or an empty stomach. I still hope the fog will clear soon. What if I was wandering down a road I hadn't noticed in the first place? What if I just lost my way in broad daylight, as they say? But I'm not going to leave my car for now. Meanwhile, hunger is clutching in my stomach, and when Ada asks for food, I give up altogether. The smell of dog food seems more mouthwatering than anything else in the world, but I don't dare touch the last treasures. Who knows, maybe the dog will be the last beacon of hope for salvation. Mushrooms are waiting for me. I roast a new portion on a fire made of whatever I could find. A rag soaked in gasoline, pieces of newspaper, dried steaks, all of it made a dark, unpleasant smoke rise. But I managed to warm up well while I fried the food. I sit and imagine what it would taste like at home after being cooked on my stove. Once again, twilight descends unnoticed. It's as if the day is shorter than usual. I had stopped keeping track of time. The place is driving me crazy. After filling my stomach, I settle inside the car with Ida. Just in case, I check if the network is up, but nothing. And the battery promises to run out. Now I can't pass the sleepless night by wasting the battery on a silly game. I once again blame myself for my negligence. Half a day more, and my cell phone was shut down. To banish my anxiety and sadness, I turn on the radio and try to catch a broadcast. White noise. The longer I listen, the more I think I hear something more. I pull the antenna out through the half-open window, and then the radio begins to crackle and squeal. It sounded so creepy that it makes my hair stand on end. It sounds like the roar and howl of 1,000 creepy supernatural creatures. Ida frightens me even more with her loud barking. Irritated, I silence the device. It's no use. It's all useless. Is it now broken too? Damn it. I don't want to change the batteries in the radio with the ones kept in the flashlight. I have to use the power wisely. And what would be the point anyway? And also, perhaps the light could give me some peace or hope. But really, should I light up the dark? I suppose not. A mere thought of facing my fears makes me shake in fear. My biggest fear now is to see what I expect to see. I also never thought the darkness could be so terrifying and terribly enclosing like it is now. Like a wall inside a crypt. I try to calm down and go to bed so I can face morning sooner. I will ever see the morning at all? Will I ever see the morning at all? The thought races through my head. Fear clouds my head. It pulses through my body in a cold wave. Terror shakes me from the inside. I panic. The dim hope of getting out of the thick darkness of the woods embraces my heart, and its pounding deafens me, squeezes and jumbles my thoughts. We must get out now. I throw off the blanket, grab the flashlight, and jump outside, unable to endure it all. Wolf, let's go now. Come here. The dog doesn't move, continuing to lie and look at me. In the meantime, my anxiety is growing and my knees are shaking. It seems that if I stay any longer, I won't be able to move. I can feel the cold chains under my skin like icy, ghosty hands. They are trying to wrap around my head. I've got no time for it. I pull the dog up, take her in my arms, and go wherever my legs carry me with my flashlight. The darkness covers everything now, and the dim beam flickers beneath my feet, preventing me from stumbling. The trail merges into a kaleidoscope of gray, dry grass, flutters and mingles with the stone slabs, swallowed by the haze. To top it all off, tears cloud my eyes. My breath is completely out of whack. I don't know where I'm going. My legs are simply carrying me forward. But the flashlight stumbles over a branching thing that hisses its tentacles in the half-light, and it moves towards me. Something rumbles and rustles with a growling rumble, a cacophony of sounds disturbs my ears. Losing my nerve, I run back to the car, sobbing like a child. I try to cut through the noise with my own screams. The dog in my hand screams. It seems I am just carrying a heavy club of fur, which only whimpers pathetically in response. There really is someone in the woods, and that someone had killed all those people. There in the thicket lay the remains of a demonic feast. Of course it would kill me too. It would strangle me or rip me apart with his brunchy paws. Fear drives me to hide somewhere. It is the only thing that goes through my mind over and over again. The thought of myself or Ida being torn apart sends a cold sweat through me and shakes me to the bone. Once inside, I lock all doors, make sure the windows are closed so no creepy monsters can grab us. I pull up the blinds in the back window so I can make sure no one sees us from behind. We, my dog and I, are locked up here in a small car box, cut off from the outside world with no communication. I can't call anyone or ask for help. How long are they going to look for us? It is a question I'm so afraid of not getting an answer to. My throat goes dry and I cough. My hands, which are choked, don't stop shaking. Ida lurches beside me, but my coughing makes her squeeze into the seat. I look for a water bottle, but find nothing but an empty bag and a flashlight. Where is it? Oh no. I left it on the hood. Idiot. I don't know how else I can help myself. I take a handful of mushrooms and try to squeeze their liquids onto my tongue. They no longer have that spicy, pleasant, fresh smell. Rancid droplets roll down my throat. Without a refrigerator, they would probably start to spoil very soon in the bucket. Still, I grab some of them and munch on dog food to break up the disgusting taste. Ida comes closer to me and puts her furry head on my lap. Everything will be okay as long as you're with me. Sleep is out of the question. I try not to look outside, but it is almost impossible. There are 5 open windows in the backs of the seats that don't hide them anyway. I huddle into the seat, wrapping myself in the blanket. The helplessness takes over with a greater force. I try neither to listen nor to stare, but it seems as if my brain is playing with me. Whose sounds are those? Who's wandering around? What monster trapped us? I realize it has been long ago since I have heard birdsong or wild animals, only the endless rustling, crackling, and humming. Gradually, my body softens and grows heavy with fatigue. I feel grafted to the seat, unable to move. I must have fallen asleep, but it all feels too real. My body is cooling and is pierced with needles from my back. Thousands of needles. Trying to move doesn't help at all. I feel sewn up to this seat with thin threads. Any movement gives off a stagnant pain like white noise. I feel as if I am burying my fingers into the ground, lying somewhere in the damp forest, in the place of a skeleton from the thicket. Am I dying? Something rustles nearby and then something wet touches my cheek. I open my eyes. It's Ida. She unpacked the bag of dog food, and now she is insistently waking me up. Delighted at my awakening, she squabbles lazily through the door, but as much as she wants to, I can't let her out. Look outside and see the same landscape covering the crazy haze. It is like yesterday, but darker. How long was I sleeping? Did I sleep at all? Maybe it was just a dream. A dream? My eyes and throat feel like they are covered with sand. The curse of this place enmeshes me, sucking out my strength and sanity. And hydration is fueling my despair. But even so, it is still too scary to go outside. I'm not ready. Ida apathetically lies beside me, looking at me sadly, knowing that her owner is not going anywhere. She feels just as sick as I do, and she can't drink water from the mushrooms. I try to push myself forward. My body stiffens like bones are really stuck to the seat. My hands are barely able to move. I reach for the bucket. Seems that dust is already falling. Is it evening already? Pull on my phone and try to turn it on, but in vain. I can't even keep track of the time. Look at Ida. The poor girl's curled up in the corner, barely breathing. But suddenly I hear a knock from outside, a disturbing and aggressive one, as if someone is walking on the roof. I press myself back into the seat. A distinctive 5-fingered footprint slams into the grass. And one more time, they stick to the window with a distinctive clang and then disappear, only for another one to come in its place. Ah! The beast moves forward. I can almost feel it as it lands right above my head, pushing through the roof. It's just about to touch me. I pull Ida closer to me. Go away, please go away. What did we do to you? Go away. Tears are rolling down my cheek. I keep repeating and repeating the please like a mantra, hoping that it would get away. It isn't real. It is not real. It will stop very soon. Let it be a dream. I snuggle up to Ida and burrow into the fur, hiding my nose from the monster who's groping the car. It still can't break the window. That is the only thing that calms me down. I try to convince myself that we are safe inside. No one can get in, and I am hiding under covers playing house with the bedside monster, as if I am a child. All of a sudden, it starts jerking the knob. It desperately wants to get inside. However, the door does not open, and it stops as suddenly as it had begun, as if nothing had happened. I sigh nervously and mumble to release the tension. I don't have the strength to sob anymore. All I want now is to feel the warmth of my dear Ida, to make sure she is still here with me alive. I touch her dirty but soft fur and run my trembling fingers over it. Then I attempt to put my hands under her belly and cuddle her again. I wish it was just a dream. I want to lie like this with you on a soft bed. And when I touch her belly, I think I feel something very strange. It is budding with swollen tumors. The dog suddenly growls and bites me. Ah, it hurts, Ida. What's wrong? I stare at her bare teeth. The pain in my arm throbs. Instead of a cheerful and sweet friend, I see an aggressive stranger. The raw Ida would never bite me. I don't take my eyes off the dog, which huddles in the corner and snarls at me viciously, bristling. Big fangs, demonic eyes, the spots on his fur dancing. It is as if evil is bursting out of her, taking over her mind, making her growl so aggressively. I throw my blanket at her and grab my knife, cramping against the opposite door. I have to push Ida outside to keep her from attacking me. The worst option is to plunge the blade into her soft body. When did I lose my best friend? On a walk? Or is it that night when it has possessed her? My paranoia gives me more and more ideas, but it isn't evident that the poor girl is too hungry. Is she hungry enough to eat her owner? Ah! The dog keeps tangling her paws in the fabric, still growling. I quickly open the window and push her out with the blanket. Tears burn my cheeks with icy shards instead of moans. My throat lets out a wheezing sound that hardly sounds like words. Ida, sorry. I'm so sorry. I twist the window handle to the limit as the creature I abandoned barks and claws at the door. I should have left her home. Now she's gone. She's gone. Press my ears to a tightened pain. No, stop whining, shut up. But the dog doesn't stop. Her voice grows more and more pitiful, more and more natural and whiny. Maybe I'm going crazy, Ida, sorry, but I can't. I want to open the door, apologize, hug her, kiss her behind the ear, but fear grips my whole body. I try to ignore the whining and barking. Oh God, I killed her. We're both going to die here. Fuck. While I'm cursing myself, the creature stops bothering me and finally gets quiet. It stops imitating Ida. I can take a little break. After a nervous breakdown, exhausted as a zombie, I begin to cram myself with mushrooms that are already stinking. Some of them are rotten, some are with worms. I don't care anymore. I'm thirsty and hungry. If I could suck up water from them, I would do it. My tongue feels nothing anymore. It is tingling and dry. Those damn mushrooms are the only thing I have. I search for hope, beg for rescue. One way or another, I want to survive. Maybe I start a new life. It's a valuable lesson that I must learn. In solitude, moments from the past flash through my mind. It is so gross and so frustrating. My whole world turned gray, mired in the sticky haze of everyday life. Does it take a person to fall to the bottom for them to finally return their nose up to the sky and see the ladder? I am gnawed by guilt. It is pointing at me with a dry palm, as if saying, now you can't reach it. Now you can't fix it. There's no one thing I can fix right now, but no matter how much I want to go after Ida, I can't bring myself to do it. Immediately I see it, hidden between the trees, staring at me with his empty eye sockets. What if Ida is in the hands of it? I can't save her. I can't save myself too. We won't be saved. It's dark again. Foul watch. It's hard to keep track of time. It flows unevenly, now in torrents, then in painful slow drops. Do I really believe that I've been here for a few days? What if more? The longer I stay here, the more I feel the throbbing fever followed by icy goosebumps, the thirst and hunger eating away at my insides. An annoying itch rolls over my skin. Sometimes it feels as if small worms are running around. I itch and bite myself to no avail. The deceiving safety locked me up in the stinky car. I firmly believed that no one would dare get through the thin layers of metal and upholstery, that Grandpa's spirit would keep me safe and my grandmother would help him. This metal coffin has saved me from the unknown creature, so it will probably keep me from predators as well. My lovely crypt. Everything around me fades and dissolves into a pitch dark mass. I can't see my own hand in front of my face. Maybe I should turn on the headlights. A sudden realization inspired me to take action again. Is it hope or madness? Yes. How would they find me if I don't give any signal? They should be looking for me right now. They should be. I didn't go to work. I didn't call Lauda. Everyone should know by now that I'm lost. I have to give them a clue. Turn on the headlights. The yellowish light dazzles me at first. Even though I feared it would immediately touch something frightening, the rays are already cutting through the darkness. I sit in the backseat with my knees tucked in, peering out into the darkness beneath my feet. I'm not ready to see what stands behind the glass. Even after the desperate action, there's nothing else for me to do but wait and be quiet, as if I'm not here at all. I hear heavy footsteps outside. Perhaps the forest spirit itself has come to me. A massive silhouette stands in front of the headlights, staring right at me. I'm too afraid to look up, but I have to see it. I hope it's just a wild animal. I hope there's still are normal animals living here. I want to see hope. I slowly start looking up. I am watched by a terrifying creature. Unreal but distinct, so disgusting that it clung to my memory. The skull with huge gaping eye sockets, sprawling horns of strange irregular shape and body entirely covered with some kind of outgrowths. Fungi? We stare at each other. Its gaze is painfully squeezing my gut. It is the look I have been feeling and fearing all this time. I am sure it sees right through me, my ugly, pathetic soul. And the longer it goes on, the longer I stare at it, the more a sickening lump rises in my throat. The creature doesn't go away. It keeps staring, denouncing my sins, silently urging me onto a monologue. Finally, the most painful thought enters my head. Can it be that my life was meaningless? Am I meaningless? But the past doesn't matter anymore, as I'm weighted by such a vile, lonely end. It stares as the traitor who had left her most precious treasure, Ida. Dizziness blurs my vision. I feel so sick and nauseated, and for a moment the feelings once forcibly silent to reappear. I'm taken over by the awfulness of everything that surrounds me. My smell of a dead man left in the apartment in the dirt. I begin to vomit so badly that I think I would suffocate and die a ridiculous death right in front of this monster, so absurd and ridiculous that I would die because of my own stupidity in this lovely crypt. And this thing is mocking me. I can't see anything anymore. The outlines are blurred. I'm shaking and vomiting. Suddenly I feel soft lumps growing all over my body. I grab onto one of them, try to tear it off. They cover the bite mark, my scratches and abrasions with tiny hats and itch under my throat, showing up as painful bumps. I feel rough rots on my fingers. Mushrooms? I rip them on myself. One by one, it hurts. Some don't come off at all. Some come off splattered blood. I grabbed a knife to cut them off. Am I cursed? Am I cursed because I went to this fucking forest? I don't want to die. I did nothing. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm almost drowning in my own tears. The pain merges into a single agony. My body can't take it anymore. My hands don't listen to me anymore. They are numb. She ate them poisonous. She either ate poisonous mushrooms or she ate them real mushrooms. My whole body is frozen and darkness covers my eyes. I wish for nothing more than to wake up at home for this to turn out to be a nightmare. I don't know if it's a dream or how long I've been like this, chained to the seat, but I'm still conscious. I can talk to myself in my head. I can understand that I still feel something beside the dulling pain all over my body. Then again, there's a blackout. It's like I'm living in episodes. I pass out and wake up again, shackled by weakness and helplessness. At some moments, I glimpse at the gray sky, the bushes and trees, the hood of the car. Sometimes I walk along the concrete road, reach the car again, and wander endlessly. And then I vomit and pass out again. Did I really get out? I think I did, but in the moments when my mind is awakened, I find myself still in the same position, completely drained and powerless. I'm confused. Dream and reality are getting mixed in some peculiar, wild way. New reality. After another blackout, fresh air gradually fills my lungs. My ears catch a familiar, soft ringing of the drops. Pleasant clattering sound echoes from all sides. When I open my eyes, I see the water dripping from the glass, and the ozone-flavored air finally filters into the stinky cabin through the ventilation system. I let myself take a full breath. Even though my body aches and my eyes and mouth feel like they are covered in sand, I force myself to get up. Rain. Put my hand to the glass and make sure it is real. Each drop is followed by a pleasant chill. I want to go outside so badly, and I finally find the desire to escape again. Is this rain a sky sign for me? And the response stirs burn my dry throat. If I had to choose, I want to die in the rain. I can't take it anymore. I can't. If I'm going to die, that's the only way. Try to open the door, but my fingers don't bend and slip. Even such a simple action now seems impossible. All I can do is turn the knob. With the window lowered, I look outside and breathe in the fresh air with pleasure. A pleasure after so much torture. I want to cry, but it feels as if I already cried out all the tears. Pull myself up and roll over the door with my shaking hands catching the water with my tongue. Nice large drops touch me, washing away the dust and dirt, taking away my anxiety. I'm ready to dissolve in this blissful rain. I close my eyes and catch the water with my tongue, holding on as hard as I can. I want more. I reach for the water, yielding to greed, and suddenly my hands fail me. Falling over the window, I collapse onto the wet concrete. My head is spinning. Sharp pain pierces my flaccid, heavy body from the back of my head to my neck, from my elbows to my fingertips. My gaze rests on the thick, dark clouds. The downpour comes with renewed force, and all the tenderness is now gone. Drops feel like they were pounding in, scratching me, penetrating me. The heat mingles with the cold. I twist. I try to roll over to stand up. Something inside squeezes my throat, blocking my breath. I wheeze and I claw. I grasp for air, drowning in a fit of new agony. I'm being torn apart piece by piece. I can feel my veins splitting, but I can't breathe in or exhale or scream. It is as if the air is now saturated with a scalding, painful poison, and my insides are exposed. Every nerve in my body feels this murderous abuse. My brain refuses to shut down, even as the scarlet throbbing veil covers my eyes. Unbearable. How long will this go on? My thoughts are bogged down into a sticky mass like another nightmare that unbearably hard to escape. It is hard to believe that it is really happening. Why does God keep tormenting me? I feel like the whole world is mocking me. I stop moving. I try to breathe again. It's hard, but I managed to do it. Had I experienced some kind of seizure? Or was it an attack from an invisible beast? Some philosopher said, I think therefore I am. Maybe it's not the time to lose hope yet. I touch the concrete road. It's wet. I feel what appears to be grass, a wheel, leaning against a slippery car. First, my knees to bend to lift my body. A window, clinging to the secure support. I stand on cotton, painful leads. It seems so brittle, as if my bones are about to crumble. If I take a step, I'll break. I would definitely break. It seems I squeeze my eyes shut again. Then I open my eyelids. My eyes are blurry, like I have a bag over my head. What did I do just now? Did I do anything? I'm so cold. Cold. The road, I have to walk on the road. Walk. It hurts to walk. It hurts. It hurts. Woof. 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 Ida, sweet lovely Ida. Open my mouth. But what is that wheezing? Do I always talk like that? Cold, Ida. I'm cold. Epilogue. The rain comes down like a wall. The autumn forest turns gray, looks especially heavy under the clouds. The dark asphalt road cuts through it. Once in a while, an occasional car drives along this thick vein. And this time, the Lada rubbing water with the whispers is racing, clearly exceeding the speed limit. There are two people inside, a husband and a wife. They listen to the radio blaring through the rain. Serene and carelessly, the artist sings about cheating and love to a corny tune until the white noise begins. The signal is bad in this part of the woods. They turn off the stereo. Just like that, in silence, the couple watches the road. A tense atmosphere quickly grips both of them. It is as if all thoughts and feelings are interrupted by the pounding of the raindrops in the engine, as if they have radios installed inside their heads. The weather is also not setting the moon. And still, the husband asks something. The woman answers, first in the single word, then quite loudly, drawing her husband's attention to herself.
That moment, her eyes narrow. What is that? Where? He shifts his gaze as well. He starts to slow down, but the road is too slippery because of the downpour. They both see a humanoid figure in the middle of the road, roughly serving the steering wheel to the screens of his wife. The man crashes in. The body falls on the hood, spreading awkwardly in front of the audience. You hit her, you hit her. Ah! Don't you yell, I see myself, fucking hell. Is she alive? Yes, go out and take a look. No, you hit her. You should look. The squirrel, their quarrel is interrupted by a palm which is pressed into a web of glass. The washed out dead eyes fix on the woman, then turn sharply on the man. A moment later, a shriek echoes through the area. The creature stands up in an unnatural manner and reaches for the door as if it knows what to do. The husband tries to start the engine and hit the gas pedal, but to no avail. Perhaps the key is stuck. The engine wasn't in check. His wife shakes him by the shoulder, repeating, "Hurry up! What are you doing? Hurry up!" But that doesn't help the situation one bit. And while they are trying, the creature smashes the window with his fist. The glass shatters into tiny crumbs and particularly hangs, covered with many cracks. A clammy, bloodless hand grabs the husband by the collar and pulls him out sharply. His head smashes the windshield, leaving a trail of blood. She hits him again and again. It drags the man through the window onto the wet asphalt. That's Snezna. That's Snezhana. The woman is frozen with horror, watching as something in the guise of a mutilated and misshapen girl brutally smashes the head of her husband into the ground. She summons all her courage and opens the door, hoping to push the girl away to do something to save him. She jumps out of the car, where her attempts to kick the creature in the head or unclench his arms are fruitless. The girl claws at her prey like a predator, unresponsive to pain. The man no longer shows any signs of life, and the monster turns to the woman. It is too late for her to flee. The echoes of wheezes and cries fill the place, and it continues for a while until finally the rain drowns out the two souls for good.
Last meal.
I did not expect it to end like that. The whole time I was reading, I was expecting hope. I was expecting... I don't even know the word. I was just expecting the good. The whole time I was expecting to see a safe haven, to be saved. More of the story, don't eat mushrooms. Nah, that's crazy though. The mushrooms made her turn into the beast, the poisonous. So all them other bodies must have also been mushrooms. Like people that had mushrooms, people that ate the mushrooms there and they died there. It was no killer. The forest is the beast. The forest is taking out the people. That was different. I did not expect that. I did not expect that at all. Good game. Yeah, dialogue, to be honest, dialogue 10 out of 10. I was really immersed. I like the artwork. Hopefully if they ever make a next game is like more artwork. Their artwork purely on design gets a 8 out of 10. Purely on design. It wasn't a lot, but it was good. It was good. Coyote's Corpse. Maybe that's the team that made it. Shout out to the team that made it. Yeah, good game, man. Yeah, I was really I was thinking. Oh look, I was really thinking she was gonna get out. That's crazy. Let's look at this artwork. It's like roots. It's tough. The beast. See his rib cage. I like this one a lot. Yeah, I like the artwork of her a lot. Is that a mushroom right there? I didn't even peep the mushrooms. Yeah, honestly, I would do the same thing if I start feeling stuff growing for me. That I'm going crazy. I would start going crazy. Then I noticed this right here too. I thought it was just cuts. Hopefully the dog is okay, but the dog ate the mushrooms too, so probably not. Oh yeah, you see the fungi right here? I didn't even peep the fungi. That's wild. That was the last one. This is the official last one in the show. It's just the last picture. Oh wow, real good game. Who made this game? Let's see. About script writer Akiyami. Hopefully I'm saying your name right. Good shit. Yeah, developer team Coyote Corpses. This was real good. This is real good. Is there danger under your feet? What if you're not alone? Can the forest spirit be enraged? The answers will stay hidden in the tense atmosphere of the dark and mysterious woods until the very end. Yeah, if they made more games, send me. I'm gonna look them up, play more games. But I like this a lot. Oh, they had a save. I didn't even know I could save the game. I was just so immersed. It just felt like a one-time playthrough. They didn't have no options in here, right? It was like I didn't choose no options. No, it definitely wasn't. Dialogue, arrows key, navigate the interface, escape. That's a real good game, man. Yeah, 10 out of 10. I liked it a lot. Let me know how y'all thought about the game. How y'all thought about my commentating skills, you feel me? Yeah, I'm getting good, you feel me? Chill. The Beast. As I was reading, I just kept thinking, like, what if I'm in that situation? No, that's terrible. That's probably one of the worst situations to be in. First, you get stuck in like that twilight zone, that area. Then you start turning into what you were starting to fear. See the mushrooms going out his horns. It's tusk. It's fire. I hope y'all like this. Let me know any games y'all want me to play. If y'all know about anything y'all would like me to play to see my reaction, send it to me. And with due, peace, positivity, love, endless support, prosperity, fertility, birth, respiration, love. I hope y'all like this joint though, for real. I honestly, I don't know what else to say, but this is good. This was good. I liked it a lot. And yeah, GG's. Good game. Good fucking game. Watch that Love, Death, and Robots. I love you. Hope you love me. Shit, if you don't, I don't care. Bang.